It is August 2nd, 2017, and this is Atlanta United FC Weekly, a Home Before Dark podcast. I am Tim Herb, and as always, I'm joined at my studio table, our studio table.
Some new furnishings?
Yeah. Co-hosts, Mr. Kevin Bradley.
What's up, man?
And Dan James to the right.
That's why the studio's got to move whenever I get a tenant downstairs.
Yeah. Oh, man, we got a couple guys tuning in. Glad to see you guys joining us, even though we got the MLS All-Star game going on right now. Good to know that Garza started. I'll end up watching highlights or whatever. That's
a good point. Yeah. So hopefully people are just watching this on the phone while still watching the All-Star game. You guys keep us posted on – you guys are going to be like our real-time correspondents for the All-Star game. So let us know how great everybody's doing or how shitty they're doing.
Yeah. So you want to go ahead and start off the show with reviews? Whose turn is it?
Dan read both last week as he was out.
Terribly. Yeah, thanks for tuning in on YouTube. If you guys are on here and you're not subscribers, hit the subscribe button. We've had an influx of you guys lately. It's awesome. We love, doing the live thing with you guys. It's great. But if you're listening to us on iTunes, make sure that you hit the rating button and leave us a review. As always, we read them on the show. We do have at least one, I think.
Ooh, we jumped up 2 today, guys.
What?
One of which I know Dean's listening right now, watching. So before we read this, Dean, we did not ignore you. We've been discussing about, because we want to have everybody be a part of this show. We pride ourselves on being a community-driven show. So we'll reach out to you, DM, try to find a good time to Skype you in on an episode. And so that said, we were sitting at 29 today and we jumped up to 31.
Where were we last week? 28, right?
28. So we've got, I'm trying to see if
we each have one to read today?
Well,
do I get to do it in a British accent again?
We're at 31 ratings. Yes, we do have 3. Yes, we have 3 reviews now. We got 3 new reviews this week. So yeah, we go around the table. That's pretty great.
Sweet. Give me the longest one to read in British accent.
I'm reading the last one. So Tim, you can start off with Best Atlanta United Podcast by Ole Miss Student.
Okay, so I don't have to read that. Fantastic show with witty commentary, and great hosts. I promise you won't regret dedicating the time to listen to this podcast on a weekly basis. Be warned, the language is pointed towards adults, so not something you'll want to listen to on a family car ride. Hashtag Orlando's not the South. Hashtag free Gressel pizza slice. Emoji.
That was bloody good there, Tim. Good job. Good job, mate.
Yeah, governor. And Dan's next. No, he's not going to do the American accent. We've been trying.
I've only started listening from about a month ago, and you guys are already my favorite podcast to listen to. You guys rock, and I love the weekly live sessions. Hashtag United Conquer. Hashtag Orlando is not the goddamn South.
Such a bro about it. I love it. And last but not least, Philly Gunner featuring J.A.K. Anonymous by Philly Gunner. Dear Home Before Dark, you're the most plastic podcast I've ever listened to.
Yes.
Please change name to Plastic Before Dark. I like the broken English in it too. Please change name to Plastic Before Dark.
Well,
I'm giving you 5 stars so that this review of how plastic of you are is read on the air. P.S. J. Riddle, also plastic.
And Jay, awesome. lovely review, but also his comment, the Atlanta United flag in the back, printed.
Yeah,
plastic.
Jay's dedication is it should be idolized by the rest of the listeners. Someone that is on Android without iTunes got someone to write a review for him.
He found an iOS mule.
Exactly.
This is like Pablo Escobar shit.
So there's no excuses anymore. The threshold's been broken.
Can't you just do it on your computer?
Yeah, exactly. There's no excuse. You guys can figure it out. Everybody's mom's got an iPhone at this point, so they're just using it for Facebook. Just get on there, go to iTunes, leave us a review, hear it right on the show. So,
yeah. Anyway, really mixed reviews, or not mixed. No, the reviews are great. Mixed Feelings about
Emotions.
Saturday?
Yeah.
It's okay. So roller coaster, right? We start the game off, and I felt like we were doing pretty well. I don't know. No, I guess very beginning of the game, no, because we got hit with that crossbar. Luckily, that crossbar was there.
Yeah. And Notarino, I thought when he did that header, I thought that was in, but luckily it was just bounced off.
Luckily, he plays for Orlando, and that's
it was Seto on the crossbar, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When the game started, I was like shaking. Like I was so nervous.
It's officially reached the point of fandom with Atlanta United that I am with Clemson after 15 years. I will say something on Wednesday, and then by Friday, I'm G-chatting Tim. No, they're going to lose. There's no way. This isn't going to happen.
I said, I can't have 2 seasons of this.
Just backpedaling instantly. So Friday, I'm like, Atlanta's not going to pull out a W. Like, I think we lose 2-1. Best thing that happens, we maybe draw. I was like, I don't see Atlanta. I mean, in all honesty, after the podcast last week, thinking about it, if it doesn't come off of a miracle goal by Villalba week 1 against Orlando, there wasn't a whole lot of offensive playmaking that lent me to believe that Atlanta was going to fight out from under a hole if Orlando got up early, which they did. And even still, the same point gets made week 2 if it's not for a miracle goal at the end of the game by Villalba. Granted, I think the offensive playmaking ability was much greater week 2 than week 1.
Hell yes.
Defense, there was a lot of lucky breaks on defense and shot making. But the big thing was it took all of that week 1 and us getting lucky, and Orlando was coming in with more firepower up top. So I was really, really nervous going into Saturday at that point.
Yeah, but, I mean, Dan pointed it out. I mean, the stats bear truth with Dom Dwyer. This year hasn't been his best year.
No, it hasn't. Did you see that shot comparison between Villalba and him on Twitter?
It's just unbelievable.
He didn't. Dude.
No.
What's Dom Dwyer doing in Orlando?
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, neither he nor Laren had a shot on goal the entire game, right?
Something like I think Laren got the assist.
Laren did assist, so it was off of Lorenowitz deflection off of that
off the goal kick from Bendik.
Bendik did he got it to her at like 30.
Yeah, that
was a good goal kick that he took. And then it came off Lorenowitz and Kyle Laren. As much as I hate to say it, that was a really beautiful play.
Yeah,
I mean, it was just a very nicely weighted ball to Kaká and then just a wonder strike.
Yeah.
I mean, statistically, it's another one of those games by Atlanta United that it's just a bit of a head scratcher at the end of it because of the fact that Atlanta ends that game with 63% possession, and they're
a whole bunch more shots.
They had like 18 shots. I'm trying to pull up all the stats.
It's a game that's like, it's promising to watch because, I mean, Orlando, for as kind of downtrodden as they've been recently, they were kind of a powerhouse to start the season. So it's promising to see us be able to create all those chances that we did. I felt like we did a great, like Kevin was saying, the chances were much more abundant. Like we did a lot better job attacking with a couple different variations of personnel on the field.
Yeah.
And I thought that
passing accuracy, we're at 79%. Like,
it's bittersweet because looking back on it now, I feel like I had such a hangover from the game on Sunday. Not a literal hangover. Shout out to Josh Bagriansky from Mouse of the South asking me if I was drinking actual beer, if I put it like there for effect last week. This isn't an Irish coffee. This is just delicious iced coffee.
Just coffee. Milk and ice.
Yeah.
Right?
But no, the hangover from that game on Sunday morning, just feeling, man, we were so elated to get that draw. And then the next day I was just like, we should have won that game.
Yeah, the
like 3 times over.
So total shots, 17 by Atlanta, 10 by Orlando. Shots on goal, 6 by Atlanta, 1 by Orlando.
The one being Kaká's wonder strike.
Exactly. Total possession, 64% Atlanta, 36% Orlando. Corners, Atlanta had 8 to Orlando's 5. Looked okay on set pieces, I thought. Tackles 1, Orlando with 20, Atlanta with 14. And then, like I said, passing accuracy. I thought Atlanta played a hell of a game, and I agree. It's another one of those head-scratching games where you end up like you're elated, obviously, to not drop 3 points to Orlando of all teams. It's the last game in Bobby Dodd. I thought that was fucking phenomenal. It was a great atmosphere, great day all around.
Yeah, I was. Yeah. I felt like I was so frustrated through this whole game. I felt like we were just running in mud. I didn't feel like we had that clip that we've used to send, though we didn't have it in Orlando the week previous.
I think we did. At least we came out the gate in Orlando hot. Like we came out pressing really hard in Orlando, but in Atlanta, it wasn't. It just wasn't prevalent at all.
It's like it's the speed in transition.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
and then we'll just pass it across the field, and it's so. And I mean, they did what they had to do. Orlando, they tried to stack the box as much as they could, but then they turned off on the Tito's goal. You cannot give Atlanta United that much space on the back line.
Shit.
No, not at all. I mean, I felt like Tito. I think you're talking about the first game, right?
Well, both.
Yeah.
Well, the first game they were crowding us out.
The first game on Tito's goal, I thought that was just like they just disrespected him.
Yeah.
Because they're like, oh yeah, we'll give you 10 yards. Yeah, you're too far up. And fuck you guys. It's like I'm gonna rip this. But that last goal was great. Obviously it was great to see him do the Lambo leap into the into the supporter section. And I don't know, we should have gotten more out of that game than we did. I mean, Greg Garza. I want to get your opinion on this.
Well, hold on. Before you start, update
Speaking of Greg Garza.
Yeah, All-Star game update. Garza's hurt, down, holding shoulder currently. So no update on that as of right now. So
the Wavy One says $1.6 million reward for the Lion Killer, a.k.a. Tito Villalba. I love that.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to tell you guys. You might have saw it on Twitter. So Soccer Down Here, Jason Longshore out there talking to Jay Riddle. They're doing a live stream from the Faction tailgate, and I just happened to be walking by, so I just casually stand in the background for half of their broadcast.
and Kevin's not somebody who is ever on Facebook and hasn't been for the past 10 years. And I'm scrolling through my timeline, and all of a sudden I see just Kevin. Just creeping into people's photos on the Atlanta United.
I blame Jay for that partially, because then Jay finally caught me out of the corner of his eye. He turns around and like calls me over, so I kind of crash into their broadcast essentially for a few minutes, and then afterwards I'm talking to Jay, and he's Mr. Popularity. Everybody wants to take pictures with him, and so he's just like, "Kevin, come here, take pictures." I'm like, I don't know any of these guys. What's up?
Awesome.
So yeah.
That's fantastic. I want to get your guys' opinion on this. As a rule of play or rule of thumb, if a foul happens, whether the ball's in play, you should call foul whether or not the ball's dead or not whenever it happens, right? So
within reason.
Well,
so Greg Garza
played advantage.
Greg Garza's so the play where he's going into the box.
Yeah.
He kicks it past Bendick, or no, not past Bendick. He kicks it past, I don't remember who the last defender is.
Yeah.
And then the defender takes him out after the ball's past him, but the ball's going out of bounds. So I think the referee plays disadvantage.
The ball does not go out of bounds.
Oh no, you're right.
That's where the scramble takes place for the next 5 seconds. In that case, I think that the whistle should have been called. A PK should have been given. Had the ball had the ball actually gone out of bounds, I don't think that that's a penalty.
You don't think so? So what do you think about dead ball fouls? Because I mean, as somebody
unless it's a blatant, like, intentional thing, which I don't necessarily, I can't say that slide, considering the situation that he was in, last defender between him and the goalkeeper, he was trying to make a play. It's not like he came in super late and he was way off the ball. I don't blow the whistle for that if that ball goes out of bounds. It didn't go out of bounds, and therefore I think it should have been a PK.
So.
Does it matter where the ball's going? I feel like if a foul is a foul.
I think so too.
It doesn't matter where the ball.
That's my point of contention. You're right though. The ball did stay in bounds for a while until somebody went and grabbed it.
That's whenever the keeper is like over on the edge of the 18 trying to get it, and the ball gets played back in before an Orlando player finally heads it out. Yeah.
So, right. I mean, anybody who follows basketball, if a foul happens, whenever the ball's out of play, or if it's going out of play, you still call the foul.
Right, but in that case, didn't the ref play advantage? Because
I don't think he did though.
Headed it back in. Or is that a separate
No.
play?
That's a separate play. So we're talking about Garza on the left side of the box coming in.
Yeah, he was down. He got injured around about the 6-yard box.
Yep. That's before. That's right. Whenever he got taken out.
Yeah.
That's whenever who came into the game for him? Mikey Ambrose, my boy.
That's where they made all those shifts. So Parkhurst went out. Ambrose.
We
came
brought in the left-footed brigade.
Kratz came in.
Right. You bring in Ambrose. You bring in Brandon Vasquez.
And Kratz came in at that
Actually,
point.
no, I think Vasquez was in.
I think Vasquez was already in.
Yeah, Vasquez was in at that point.
I think it was Kratz and Ambrose that came in at that point. But yeah.
But yeah, I just wanted to, I just wanted to know your guys' opinion on that. Whether or not, to me, that's definitely a foul.
I think in that situation it is, but a dead ball
So
foul.
what's the difference though? What's the difference? I mean, because that foul's impeding him from getting to the ball.
I think at the same time, it's just like a high kick. I think it is situational and up to judgment. So my point of view is, yes, it doesn't really matter where the ball's going if it's a blatant foul, and especially whenever it's in the box. Like that's one that you don't want to give up if it's not intentional. Like the same thing with like handball in the box. Like we've seen it happen before where Parkhurst slides in, it's a handball just because it happens to go off his hand, and that's where his hand is as he's going in. Technically, yes, it's a handball in the box by the book, but it's unintentional. I think fouls very much, and that's part of what makes soccer so exciting, is that it is up to the ref's discretion on whether or not it's a foul. And in the box, in that situation, the ball continues to be played. If it's a dead ball, it's not super intentional. I don't see why you call it
I've
PK.
really never agreed with fouls being called contextually like that. I just don't get it. Like to me, I understand more contextually in the flow of the game, right? If you're going to be doling out cards and cautions to start the game, or whenever you start giving out the cards, I mean, you're really going to have to, keep up that. What am I trying to say? Stay consistent throughout the rest of the game, right? But foul happens outside the box. That happens inside the box. You can't call one and not the other. I understand one leads to a goal, but the other definitely could too. I mean,
that's true.
You give up a free kick. When are we going to? We need a free kick specialist. Am I wrong?
No.
Yeah.
Sebastian Larson.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about it. We talked about it early on in the season whenever we're talking about Bosman transfers. I don't know where he's at right now, but.
So Robert Swick actually has a comment based on this, saying that they had this conversation at work, and it shouldn't matter if it was post-shot. It was a foul in the box, cardable foul. I think people are going to be divided on it, and that's just happens to be my stance. I don't think that if that ball goes out of bounds, I don't call a PK there. The fact that it didn't and it stayed in play and Atlanta didn't have advantage necessarily as a result of that, I think that's a PK.
Sebastian Larson's still a free agent, by the way. And we should probably be hopeful that LA Galaxy somehow have 4 designated players right now. Can we get a 4th? Right? The Dos Santos brothers, Alessandrini, and Yeli Van Dam.
How did they manage to get 4 DPs?
I don't understand. Does anybody know that? What's going on with that with LA Galaxy? Because they have 4. Right, they have the Dos Santos brothers, they have Yeli Van Dam, and they have Alessandrini. They have 4 DPs right now.
You cannot charge multiple DPs if they're brothers. If it's family. It's just like crime. You cannot charge a husband and wife for the same crime.
What the hell are you talking about?
We're talking about Double Jeopardy, right?
Exactly.
We're talking about this really good movie with Ashley Judd back in the 90s. No, seriously, 4 DPs if you trade a DP spot or something?
No fucking way is anybody in the MLS going to get Neymar, Dean Worley. He's going for 441 million euros.
His that's his contract is 450 or something like ridiculous.
That. Yeah. No way in hell anybody in the MLS can snag that.
So speaking of big money transfers in the MLS, what did you guys think of Dom Dwyer as a whole?
Garbage.
Overall, unimpressed. I didn't see anything that was. I mean, Orlando had a lot of opportunities, and like I said, Atlanta really got lucky on some of them. That said, Orlando also got lucky. Atlanta hit post twice. I think there was luck on both sides of the game Saturday, but Orlando made some good opportunities. But overall, I didn't see some stellar performance out of their players up top that were constantly.
No, I still think Jonathan Spector is probably the best player on their team.
If anything, I felt.
You know what's crazy is I thought that he was pretty bad. I thought that I thought we were doing a good job exploiting that breakaway that Villalba had was all on Spector.
Yeah, but I mean that's
Just
that's
slow,
one.
slow
I
old.
feel like that's one instance. I mean, he was pretty dominant in the last game, and plus,
Yeah,
he
I guess
actually
so.
had a last man tackle in this game.
Yeah, on was that on Assad?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a good player. I was so interesting enough about Dom Dwyer. Kansas City they decided it was their best offensive performance that they've had last week against Chicago,
And that's scary.
with Dwyer out
Right.
of their lineup. So, and the past like 3 games after that have all been 1-1 draws, 2 at home, 1 on the road against Real Salt Lake. So
No, since Dwyer hasn't played.
since before his transfer. So
Well, he wasn't playing for 2 weeks. No, well, I guess Gold Cup was we had a break because of Gold Cup.
Oh, Robert Swick has a good point about the DPs.
Yeah, that's what I said. He said you can trade one away,
yeah,
I guess.
Yeah, I think that's what Minnesota did this year because they don't have any DPs. I think they maybe have traded.
I guess they didn't sign any though.
No,
They
that's
didn't
true.
see any reason, but I don't know.
Yeah,
some
I
of the
don't know.
MLS stuff still kind of Tam and Gam, all that stuff. I want to do like a deep dive into that one day.
yeah, there's some good articles. I think one of the Sounder blogs, Seattle Sounders blogs, put out a good article about Tam and Gam and how the transfers work.
Yeah, so Jay's got a good point. If Dwyer doesn't magically hit 2014 form, Orlando aren't making the playoffs.
Right. So right now they have a game in hand on Columbus, I believe, and they're 2 points behind them. They're in 7th right now, and they're definitely trending downward.
That said,
Columbus
the
though, is
race,
treading water.
that said, the race in the East is super tight. Like I think it's 8 points separate second from 8th or something like that. I mean, it's really, really close. So anything can happen at this point, in my opinion. But
What sucks though
game
is
is close.
again, to go back to that hangover from this Orlando City game, it really sucks because of how well New York Red Bulls are playing right now. They're just destroying shit.
Yeah, did they win 4-0?
It was either 3-0 or 4-0. I think they won 4-0 and then 3-0 2 weeks in a row, something like that. But anyway, they jumped us. They leapfrogged us. We losing those 2 points against Orlando City really screwed us.
Yeah. What was the heck is going on with our finishing? I felt like Assad just had 2 again, little soft flicks at the keeper. Gaza had another one.
Almiron
And
shot, like the wide open shot opportunity, and
Yeah.
just a little poke.
Just a little poke, and
They
then
had all day
then he
to
hit the
actually
post.
take. You could take a 2-touch in that scenario and like really put it on, and he just
put your boot through it. Man.
just barely touches it. That was so disappointing to see from him specifically.
yeah.
So in their last 4 games, excuse me, New York Red Bulls, 15 goals, 4, 3 allowed,
Whoa.
4-0 in their last 5, or 4. They've won 5 out of their last 6, and they've won 4 straight. So they'll definitely go. They look like they're doing the Seattle Sounders thing, where they're going to be just finishing strong. So we really have our work cut out for us. Because NYCFC's been strong all season. Toronto's just Toronto and Chicago to me are head and shoulders above the rest in the East.
Toronto, especially right now,
Yeah.
good. Got seeing the way that they put that away against New York City last week is scary.
Yeah,
Yeah. Gio's just on another level, unfortunately.
yeah.
Again.
I mean, the East is really only so close because Javinko's been out for a good portion of the season.
Oh yeah. If an East team doesn't win the MLS Cup,
Well, you say that though, but there are 2 legitimate teams in the West. And one of them we're playing this weekend,
KC and
KC and
who else?
Dallas.
Dallas.
Who are you going to say?
Yeah, I guess Dallas. I don't think they've had.
I mean,
Well,
between
they're
Kellen
on-
Acosta
they're on
and
34
Maxi
points.
Rudy and
So they're on 34 points. Granted, they've got 2 games in hand.
yeah, Dallas missed a good bit of the season. They have
In the
some
Open
makeup
Cup.
games because of the Open Cup and because of CONCACAF Champions League to start the season.
Right.
That team is
Goal
good,
difference
man.
+9.
I mean, Kellen Acosta is going to end up being one of the U.S.'s best midfielders in the next couple of years, I think. And he is just outstanding for them. So is Maxi Rudy.
True. I'm not.
And then Jesse Gonzalez is just a freaking stud in that goal, man. You're not buying Dallas.
No.
And then you look at Sporting KC losing, who people think is their best player, and Dom Dwyer. who's not. Benny Feilhaber might be their best player still.
Oh, yeah.
And they're trending up again. I mean, they're tops in the West.
Well, they haven't lost a home game in like 20 games or something.
And they just beat Chicago. And Chicago's been so good the past couple months. Yeah. Chicago's pretty much been on the uptick since we beat the shit out of them at Bobby Dodd.
But I would still put Toronto, Chicago, and maybe even NYFC, CFC above both of those West teams.
Do they play them at all?
I mean, well, Chicago just lost to KC this week.
That's true.
On the road.
Well, and that was with a couple of own goals too.
Well, it was with one own goal. So if we want to get more into sporting.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've beat the Orlando horse.
I'm sick of talking about it at this point. It's 2 weeks. Yeah. I think Atlanta showed out. Orlando's clearly not the South.
Orlando, you can eat this until we play you again, until we welcome you to our new stadium.
Oh, it's not soccer specific, so they won't.
But we will open up 71,000 supposedly for that game.
That would be fucking dope.
Yeah. So
right. Which is 3 Orlando games.
Yeah.
That said, we bid farewell to Bobby Dodd. We can't end this discussion without saying how
it's been an awesome 7 for us.
Really, really great. And I thought it was a great tribute to that with the Waffle House tifo.
A lot of people we keep talking about the Facebook group every week, but so many people were just so butthurt that we didn't go with something crazy after the Walking Dead Negan thing in Orlando.
If they listen to this show, they would know that we're playing Orlando again, and I think it's fitting to close out Bobby Dodd.
And to be quite frankly, having a last game in Bobby Dodd beats the shit out of anything to do with Orlando. Like, I
agree.
I put that. They're not as important in my mind.
I feel good about the future of the CSC staff, that they're not going to have to deal with crowds as big as ours ever again.
Yeah. If anything, I think some of them may pick up a part-time job over at Mercedes-Benz. So Dean Worley asked, Dean Worley asked, do you think the sellout streak will end at 70,000? I definitely don't. I think this season will sell out every single game, every single home game for this team. I don't see us taking – look, I could be wrong, but with 13 games left in the season, I don't see this team going on a backslide that will prohibit people from showing out in Bobby Dodd at a 40,000 person cap for the remaining set of games that we have at home. I think that this team has built up enough hype. They're still relevant, that I don't see them becoming irrelevant in that amount of games to where they're not going to sell out home games. I mean, if anything, I'm a little bit concerned just based on the amount of home games we have during the week in September, because it's literally Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Wednesday, all through September. I think the Wednesday games will be a good test to see if they can sell out 40,000 on a Wednesday night. But that said, I don't think that it's going to be a challenge for this team to sell out the rest of the season.
But what is
the 70? You don't think you think we'll do the 70?
Oh yeah, I think we'll do 70 for sure. I don't think that
on a Wednesday, on a weekday.
I don't think that they'll do 70 every week.
Are we playing Orlando on a weekday?
I don't remember.
If they open it up for the Orlando game, if for no other reason, this city will go just to break the MLS record for attendance. Yeah. I don't know. I think
Orlando's on the Saturday.
Because if we hit 70, we do break the attendance record. And I think that this team and the marketing and everything else can at least do that. I don't think every game they're going to open it up to 70, but I could see at least 3 more games on the season. I think the Orlando game, the last game at home for sure, and maybe throw one more in there.
Wavy One chiming in with something that I think a lot of MLS fans deal with a lot, especially Toronto fans recently with that crazy stretch of games they had, saying not a big fan of weekday games. MLS should have less of those like the Premier League does. It's MLS just in general needs to get its scheduling together.
I agree.
I mean, that's always been one of the bigger pain points of this league.
Yeah.
Other than the pro rel discussion, which whatever can be.
We've never discussed that on this show, have
we? We haven't, but it's
Tim and I have. G chats. Gotta get on the G chats, bro.
Yeah. No. Anyway, let's move towards the Sporting KC game.
Right.
They've been one of the more consistent teams in the MLS this year, especially in the
have.
West.
They've scored 28 goals.
That said, have either of you actually watched anything outside of the highlights tonight by them?
Yeah, we watched Sporting KC in Toronto play. One
That's
of our
right.
first nights podcasting.
That's right, we did.
Yeah.
Toronto pulled out the win on that game, right?
They did because we were talking about how Sporting
it was
KC.
a 0-0 draw because we were telling
Oh,
how
that-
yeah.
teams were garbage
That's
in our
right.
vast amount of knowledge that we had.
That's it.
Yeah, but
Yeah, Sporting KC will never amount to anything.
Neither will Toronto. Fucking
no, but
trash.
one of the things that we were pointing out is how they play they seem to play a similar style to us. I think they
Yeah.
play a really good flowing game, and Benny Feilhaber to me is the key.
Yeah, he is. He is my favorite player on their team.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite U.S. men's national team players. I mean, that goal that he had in the Gold Cup, what was that, 2008 against Mexico?
Oh, I have no idea.
The crazy volley that he scored. It
Probably.
was beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful little Brazilian.
Yeah, I mean they like a lot of possession, like to take long shots, like to press us like New York City.
Aside from his own goal this past weekend against Chicago, Matt Beasler is a stud
Yeah, he
of a
is.
center back.
Do we think Martinez is back this weekend? Because that changes
No.
everything.
So
Still think he's
apparently the discussion today was
It's a contusion, right?
Darren Eales was on 92.9 The Game, and he was talking about how if it was a playoff situation that Josef would be playing, but they're giving him rest. Yeah, I mean, we are a completely different team. We don't play him though. I don't think anyway.
If we do, I feel much more confident going into that game. I think at least look, here's the thing. Going into this game, I can't say that I've watched enough of Sporting KC to say for sure that we're going to go in there and get trounced. I'm not optimistic if Josef's out, that's for sure. From a coaching perspective, though, going into that game, it's a hell of a lot easier to get players motivated going in against the top team from another division.
Oh yeah, on the road.
On
as
the
well,
road.
yeah.
You've got a lot to prove.
Mhm.
I think coming off of a draw, I think we saw improvements from Orlando on the road to being back at Bobby Dodd on offense. Couple posts, couple missed opportunities up top. Defense overall played pretty well. A lot of really, really great positional awareness from Walks and Parkhurst to get those deflections at key points to save to save Guzman.
I mean LGP.
oh yeah,
He's
LGP
king of block
was-
shots, man.
Yeah.
Slide tackle in all that.
Oh, we didn't even talk about. Hold on. Hold on.
Match.
Man of the match. Yeah, from the Orlando game, we completely left that out.
Oh, that's true.
For me, it's Carlos Carmona.
I was gonna say Carmona.
Dude,
Yeah,
I saw you guys tweet on that, and I was like, probably. I mean, we all know I've got LGP bias, but then I saw a graphic.
the distribution of his passes for the game.
and he must have had like
It's unbelievable.
100 greens.
It's unbelievable.
And 2 reds.
It's unbelievable.
And again, as Kevin Brown likes to say, he tackled the world.
yeah.
Yeah, he absolutely did. Speaking of which,
Yeah.
now might be a good time to get Kevin Brown on. We had our resident traveling reporter, Kevin,
Our correspondent.
Kevin Brown actually flew out from Seattle to Atlanta this week. Well, he did fly to Orlando as well, but he came out to Atlanta this week. So he was away technically, but he was back home for the last game in Bobby Dodd. So
I swear to God, I don't know when it's going to happen. Probably when my kids go to college. But there is going to be a time when I go to every single game in a season. Like I fly out, go to all the away games.
That's
go
what a
to all the home
401k
games.
is for. What's up, Kevin?
That's right.
Hey, how's it going?
hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Kevin, how's it going, man?
It's going quite well.
My favorite listener.
Yeah.
It was great meeting up with you, man. I'm glad we were able to make it happen.
Oh yeah, man. I'm going to all these home games too, so it's I like meeting up with people. I meet up with a lot of friends from high school who've been going to the games too, so it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll definitely have you in studio for that stretch of home games that we have
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah,
in
that'd be great.
September. Yeah.
So can you
Oh, yeah.
work remotely?
I took a vacation, so I got all those days off.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I think we're all in agreement how jealous we are of your situation. So, thoughts on the last game of Bobby Dodd?
Loved it, man. Never as a tie felt like a win to me. It was just so beautiful at the end. I was screaming. I shook my friend to death.
I was jumping up and down in my mother-in-law's living room by myself. And then she came in and was like, oh, Dan's jumping around.
A lot of Orlando fans were shaking the bleachers and pulling them up, I heard. So much so that 7 or 8 of them were arrested.
Oh, that's so classy, man.
Yeah.
Well, why? Well, they only do metal bleachers because they're not plastics.
That's right.
They refuse to take the plastic seats.
Orlando fans lost a collective 800 pounds during that game because they've not stood up for a full 90 minutes before.
They still had a couple more chances.
Say that again, Kevin. Sorry.
Which one?
At the end of the game, I felt like they could have got one more goal at the end of the game. They were still pretty close.
Yeah, I think so too. And that's part of the reason why I felt like after the game on Sunday that it was a loss. Like I felt more like a loss on Sunday than I did like we won the game or that we had a positive result.
Yeah, definitely.
So going out to Sporting KC this weekend, right?
Yes, I get in early, like 11 a.m.
And what time's the game? What time's
It's a night game, so I think it's at 7.
7:30.
So it'll be 8:30 for us, right? Yeah, Central Time.
I think so.
Yeah. So have you ever been there before? You ever been to Kansas City Stadium?
No, I have not.
Kevin, have you seen much of Kansas City play? Like, do you have an expectation of what you think they're going to bring?
No,
us?
I have not seen a whole lot from them. Like I watch a lot of the highlight shows, and I see like just a couple of plays from like the last game. It looked terrible for Atlanta United if they played like they played the last game. So I mean, I haven't seen too much, just highlights, not a full game or anything.
So one of the things I have read about them is one of their weaknesses is they are not great against defending attacks down the wings, which plays to us perfectly.
Yeah, that's because they have a makeshift right back at DP named Graham Zuzi.
See, a lot of people don't like Graham Zuzi.
I actually don't mind him. He's like the James Milner of the U.S. men's national team.
I freaking love James Milner.
Yeah, me too.
I would love Graham Zuzi to replace our right back when he goes. So I'm really actually looking forward to this game just to see what is going to be produced between the two teams. Hopefully a win for us,
definitely,
obviously.
And to play the number 1 team in the West and see if they what they look like against them.
Yeah, we'll probably beat them 5-0.
Well, that said, I mean, I just posted this in the live chat and a lot of people are concerned about it. First of all, Jay Riddle says, Kevin, hit them up whenever you're out there. They're rolling 50 deep, so they're going to be taking it over.
Excellent.
Are you an Arsenal fan, Kevin?
No, actually, Manchester United.
Yeah, you sound like an
now.
But that's the thing with Jay Riddle. You know, I've seen some tweets on him. He's trying to hit up all these Arsenal groups. So you're going to have to deal with that, I think, a little bit.
I'm fine with that.
That said, I don't see if we go in to Sporting KC without Josef and now potentially without Garza, I'm even that much more concerned.
I'm honestly, I think we have enough.
Ambrose.
Yeah, I think we have enough depth. Ambrose is like a poor man's Greg Garza.
Again, just seeing
small, swift, left back.
But seeing the communication and the coordination between Garza and Assad on that side and Almiron and Walks on the other.
Dude, yeah, we didn't even talk about that. It seemed Almiron and Walks have some like
they've
weird
been playing together for
telepathic connection where they were they would just take swings at the balls and it would end up in the other person's foot.
They absolutely were.
Yeah, man, it was great.
That
and Walks
said,
got fouled on that sideline.
Yeah, he did. He needs to keep on pushing. Yeah, it was unfortunate. I don't think Gressel had a great game, and
I agree.
And
do you start Vasquez this weekend?
Not with another starting player out in Garza, and you're already having to make up for that on that.
We don't know if Garza's out yet.
I know, but I'm just saying, if Garza's out, I say no. If Garza's in, sure, why not? I mean, 2 weeks now with Gressel in, didn't offer you a whole hell of a lot. Vasquez being in opens up opportunities to score the 2 goals whenever they were scored, whether that's happenstance or not. I think it's certainly played a role in that.
I'd say you give Gressel the start because you want to push him a little more. I mean, I'm not Gressel.
Yeah, Vasquez.
Give Vasquez the start.
Yeah, to push Gressel a little bit more.
And then if Gressel, if Gressel's, oh my God.
Come on, dude. I'm taking this away.
If Vasquez doesn't.
We really got to protect Tony Miola and
What are you even saying right now?
Just making fun of Dan being drunk. Anyway. No, so what predictions for this
Bring
weekend?
back Tyrone Mears.
Yeah, as long
He
as
would have scored a goal.
the wavy one actually says, as long as Mears doesn't start, we'll be fine.
Yeah. So predictions, Kevin.
I say draw 2-2 draw.
All right. Who do you got scoring for us?
I always say Gressel because I just want it so bad. Gressel's my favorite player. I love screaming Gresselmania every game. It's my favorite.
I mean, we're pretty serious about getting that Patreon account up to get Atlanta United colored boas and Gresselmania tank tops, rippable tank tops. And so it's a one-time, it's a expendable purchase. But.
Jay actually said we need to get a Home Before Dark pizza party. Free Gressel to the Home Before Dark studio for a pizza party on there.
I wonder when that Hulk Hogan Gresselmania tifo is going to occur.
Oh, surely.
Shortly after the sex tape.
Whoa! Well, now he's not coming on. That's for sure.
No, talking about Hulk Hogan.
I get it.
The Gawker sex.
I know what you're talking about, but
yeah. So Gressel, and then who's the second goal? Both
Tito,
are Gressel.
Man. Tito is
Tito.
On a roll right now, man. I'm feeling it.
All right. Well, as always, thank you for calling in, Kevin, and being our eyes and ears on the road.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me, guys.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Kevin.
and we'll
I
see
will
you.
meet up with you one day.
Yeah, we'll see you in like 4 or 5 weeks, something like that, right?
See you next month.
Yes.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Later.
Just a good dude. Just
Yeah.
like all of you guys, all of our listeners and viewers, subscribers, all of you guys are the best. And I've not had an interaction with any of you that's been
Dude,
bad.
I've been blown away with. I mean, I've got people offering me tickets.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I'm like so humbled.
And I'm your friend, and I'm like, you can fucking pay for it.
That's right. Yeah. I wouldn't take it. I would.
Yeah, I'm the
I
same
would
way.
pay them.
Yeah. But all right, so what are you guys? What are we sitting in on time? We got about 15 minutes left. Last thoughts going into the game this weekend.
Stop Fernandez. Stop Latif Blessing.
Yeah, Latif Blessing. He scored like 3 goals in the past couple of games.
He's a
Past 2
small
games, I
little small little nuisance.
Yeah.
Like he scores rebounds and he scores little cluster cuss goals in the middle of the box.
Is he kind of like a Maxi Morales sort of guy?
Yeah,
Oh,
I think so.
God.
Yeah, I mean, in watching him play, he's got a great positional awareness for a forward. He's really young though, so I mean that bodes well for them. Getting rid of Dwyer, getting some TAM to spend, right? Is that how it worked?
Yeah, they got a percentage of. They got a certain number of TAM and GAM and. I don't know what, because there was like 700,000 of GAM, and then was it TAM, and then a certain number of the other one. So it wasn't just all one lump sum, and it was broken up into the various buckets.
It's so weird.
But
It's so weird the way let's do a workshop one day. We'll do like a Home Before Dark Atlanta United FC Weekly extra where we just
Learn how
you
the
guys. We do a
league
lunch
works.
and learn.
Yeah.
Lunch and learn, yeah,
Have a PowerPoint. Pizza lunch.
the only thing I can really put my thumb on is they just use it all to pay down contracts to get them under the salary cap, the max salary cap, and then general allocation money you can spend it on any typical player, and targeted allocation money is only for a certain type of player. I want to say DPs, but I know I think it's a little bit wider than that.
Yeah, it's anybody who's going to end up costing you more than like $500,000 a year or something.
Oh, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's why we used it on Kenwin Jones and Chris McCann.
Oh, yeah,
and
great.
Probably
So-
Mears too, right?
Probably me.
I mean, seriously, his contract's so stupid for him to be on the bench right now.
He got like he won the MLS Cup last
I
year
get
with
it.
Seattle.
I mean, I get it. It's the right signing at the time, but hindsight's
Hindsight's always 20.
I know it.
Yeah, but I mean, let's take a step back.
Can you not? I wish you could allocate salary. I mean, just like a regular. I feel like you should be able to reallocate salaries mid-season. Maybe that's just
You
me.
can. I mean, you could renegotiate. I mean, but then you would never be able to sign that player
No,
again because
no,
they would probably be
absolutely
like,
not.
"Screw you!
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I'm not going to play for you, and I'm not going." to... Yeah. Anyway, I want to go back to the Brandon Vasquez discussion.
Okay.
Kid's still 18, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a stud.
Yes.
Dude's huge.
I freaking love him.
He's huge.
You're
He's gonna
talking
be good.
next year, we're going to have a 17-year-old Andrew Carlton
Do you think they'll
about
be,
to turn
do
18,
you think,
Brandon Vasquez
I think
in the
one-
starting lineup,
I
probably?
think one of the two is in starting lineup next year, especially if we lose some of these players that we're thinking lose. Speaking of losing players, we've gained a player, and I know there's been a lot of talk about Anton Walks and whether or not he'll stick around. His season's been extended through 2017.
Yeah,
Really?
through the end of the season.
No, I thought it was next season. Oh, no, it is through the end of the season because it was supposed to be up in October, right?
Something like that. Yeah.
Or September, something like that. But yeah, it's, I guess
Good.
it is through.
I mean, he's a great right back.
that's a
for
good
us.
sign,
Yeah.
though. I mean, if he's extending that, I mean,
Yeah.
he seems really happy to be staying around. I mean, it could just be publicity, but I thought it was for next season for some reason.
So what do you think about him, the chances that we could either buy him or get him on loan for next year?
I think it's much easier knowing that he's solidified himself in a starting lineup to where he's replaced a player that their salary allocation will be available to negotiate his salary next season potentially.
I think he's too expensive. I think he's going to be too expensive.
I don't know.
I mean, Tottenham, I don't think that they just are
Or-
shooing him. I don't think they were just shooing him away. It was a typical loan deal to get him
that
some
said-
experience.
Well, that said, maybe Atlanta negotiates the loan deal to where they're not paying his full salary, but it's a portion of it for next season.
Well, the thing is, they are kind of stacked at center back. I mean, between Eric Dyer and Alderweireld and Vertonghen, and they have a couple others at center back for
and
Tottenham.
until recently, the best right back in the world, Kyle Walker.
No, Nathaniel Klein plays for Liverpool.
But
No,
they do
I'm talking
play
about
on.
Tottenham.
But they do play on
No,
turf.
you
yeah,
said- you said
Nathaniel
best-
Klein's. Yeah, but he's not 50 million.
But
You
Tottenham,
said best right back, and yeah.
Yeah,
Tottenham
Oh,
does play on
you're being sarcastic.
Yes.
Yes, Kyle
Of
Walker's.
course I am.
Kyle Walker's. I
But
don't-
Tottenham plays on turf, though, right?
Daniel
so
Klein.
it doesn't count.
Next year they do.
Yeah, that's plastic.
No, Nathaniel Klein's better than Kyle Walker.
Nathaniel Klein. Sorry, man.
I gotta go.
Tomato.
No, but I mean, if they end up keeping their core at center back and keep Wanyama and they keep a good chunk of their midfield, I mean, Anton Walks won't see the field for Tottenham next year, even if he goes back. So maybe it's another.
I think that's
I
a
mean-
good pickup.
I mean, you do what? I mean, Liverpool just and a lot of teams do this whenever they have a mid-tier academy player, they'll loan him out a couple years in a row.
Yeah.
And I mean, I saw that with Andre Wisdom. Kind of same deal with I can see happening with Anton Walks.
I think there's a lot of players that I can't tell what's going to happen whenever it comes to Martinez, Almiron, Assad. I mean, Assad, I think, is a little bit more leaning towards Atlanta and sticking around based on just the sort of rumor mill. But I think of all of the players and all the speculation, I think Walks is a player that I can get behind there being a real possibility of him sticking around next year.
So, going back to this right back discussion, Tim, where is Andre Wisdom now? What happened with him? Has he been sold from Liverpool, or is he still going on loan?
Finally, they've
Okay.
finally sold him.
So, was he at Sunderland or something?
I want to say he ended up at Derby County.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
So he got loaned out to Norwich, and then Derby, then West Brom, and now he's back with Derby.
But
wanna
he
say-
played for a season in Liverpool. or
He
portion of the
he was
season.
good too, and I didn't
Right.
understand that. He was just like kind of a big. It's same exact thing as Anton Walks, actually, like the same exact situation where he's a big, like supposed to be future at center back, and he's going and playing at right back, and playing out of position. Actually, he went Derby County, West Brom, Norwich, Red Bull Salzburg, and he's back to Derby County.
So I think it all depends on what Tottenham do. I don't think that Atlanta United are going to have much pull in the fight, whether Tottenham decide to sell him or whether they
Yeah,
decide
I mean
to loan
it's
him out
really
again.
not a it isn't up
And
to
it's
us.
what they can and it's ultimately what they can get for him.
And-
So
yeah.
it could be that they have a whole bunch of academy players that project better than Walks, and if we make an offer and they say, yeah, okay, we could do that, then that's fine. But
I didn't even think about it until now. Dean Worley says maybe Martinez will be shipped off if his form improves. I think the fact that he's sat.
I think this injury is good for us.
I was
in the
just
long
that's
run.
what I just said. I didn't even think about it until we started this discussion. I think the fact that he sat half the season, essentially, bodes well for Atlanta to try to keep him on next year and get him.
Or it bodes poorly for us in the future to capitalize on.
That's true because you're spending that amount of money for somebody that's injury prone. That too. All right, so we got about 5 minutes left. Score predictions. Oh, Dan, you got it right. I think you're the first one of us that has nailed a prediction last week. So kudos to you. What was Kevin's prediction? 2-2?
2-2, yeah. Same with, I think Dean Worley put it in.
Score predictions this week, Tim.
2-1 KC. And you're right, the wavy one. I as a Liverpool fan, I completely forgot about Brooks Lennon. And now seeing him play at Real Salt Lake, I was like, oh shit, yeah, he's a Liverpool player.
Dan.
I'm going to be positive.
I like it.
2-1 loss. No, I'm going to go for a 2-1 win.
2-1 Atlanta. All right, I'm going to shoot the difference. I'm going to say 2-0 KC. All right. Yeah, I think this is going to be a real bad game for Guzan and to see it happening.
Hey guys, watching in the YouTube stream, put your score predictions in there. We already had 2-2 from Dean Worley in there.
Especially if Garza's out, not enough attacking power up top, because if Garza's out, it affects the defense as much as it affects the offense in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
We're going to be pivoting to recover that. Josef being out on the road, I just see an easy 2-0 loss on the road.
Here's the way I look at it optimistically. Bloom or Mikey Ambrose, now is their time to shine. If Garza's out, obviously, which hasn't been confirmed, now is their time to shine. Now is their time to make a difference,
right? And
show me that they can score a fucking hat trick in case.
I want to see that Home Before Dark special. I thought we were going to see it this weekend with Mikey Ambrose getting a cross in for a basket.
So can I say something about Guzan?
Say anything you want.
So I think the Hype Depot are the life and soul of the home games. I think they have all the credit for putting together the atmosphere that is created.
Are you about to talk about that Mr. Clean Sheet?
Damn right.
It's so good.
Great artwork, but
Jinx.
As soon as I saw it, I was like, are you serious? Why would you do that?
One game.
It's like saying putting up something that says Almiron is never going to break his leg.
Oh my god!
Exactly. But don't. Yeah. I mean, just call it Mr. Clean.
Yeah, no.
Just call him Mr. Sticky Hands.
I don't think that would go over as well.
That's an oops. That's an oops.
So, but yeah, I mean, now of course we're in a perfect situation where we're leaving Bobby Dodd. It's a new stadium. We can reconsider putting a banner like that up that tempts fate. And I'm a pretty realistic person in real life, but when it comes to sports, I'm completely polarized and jumpy and not confident and and superstitious. So
stepping up to the free throw line, he hasn't missed a free throw in 3 games.
Got a no going.
Rick. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think that just about does it. Still 0-0 All-Star game right now. It's at half. It's at half. So
well, we're down 1. Guys are getting injured.
True.
How about that U.S. women's national team comeback against Brazil the other day?
Was it 3 goals in 9 minutes?
Something like that, yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, Rapinoe had like this crazy assist.
Yeah, and what was that goal this week that I saw though? Oh,
goal of the week. Goal of the week.
I haven't done that in a while.
I think for me, it's Benny Feilhaber scoring. Hold on.
The bicycle kick?
Bicycle kick from 2 inches away from the goal line.
So does Mosqueda for Whitecaps. Not only gets the bike right on the goal line, but megs the keeper on the post. Look, dude, it's ridiculous. He not only chests it up to himself, but then the bike to meg the keeper. It just stuns everybody. Yeah, goal of the week, hands down.
Oh, so Jay Riddle did bring something up earlier that I want to talk about. Unfortunately, you won't be able to come, Dan, but there is an open house.
No foreigners? Is that what it is?
No.
Yeah, an open house for founding club members. Oh, he can.
I got 2 tickets, dude.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Cool.
Open
Wait,
house on my birthday. Mercedes-Benz is doing an open house for founding members. So it's
we get to do it before the Falcons fans do.
From 10 to noon on August 19th. So
damn you, Dean Worley.
What day is that?
I expect every listener to have birthday cake and or bourbon for me.
Birthday wings. You said birthday wings wrong.
It's my birthday.
He says caca goal a week. It was perfect goal.
It was great.
It was
just
broken English. It was perfect goal. But bike better. Bike from goal line way better.
How do you say better? All right. So thanks for checking us out, guys. Thanks.
Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you know who Phil Woosnam is?
Fuck no.
Okay. So I was listening to one of our podcast, well, not our podcast, but Soccer Down Here, and there's a movement going for the supporters end in Mercedes-Benz Stadium to be called the Woosnam end. So Phil Woosnam is a guy, he's actually from Wales, so my family's from Wales. That's awesome. God. But he was the NSL commissioner.
I got Welsh family too.
Played for, well, even better, played for the Atlanta Chiefs. He played for Wales as well. Is actually one of the fathers in Atlanta for laying down the soccer landscape that we have here, and he passed away in 2013. But it just goes to show that our Atlanta soccer culture is actually a hell of a lot richer than I actually realized. So suck it, Orlando. No,
because we had nothing to celebrate with Bobby Dodd. It just shows that we're clasping and just clawing to have something to be attached to, because this team, we're all plastic. And there's no actual.
I think we should call this
for fandom.
Listen. It's I have a great name for the supporter section. I love the Woosman end's great. How about the wall? Right? Kept the Mongols out.
Yeah. It's great. It's not taken, right?
Actually, no.
It's so politically relevant as well.
It's not taken.
It kept all of those dragons and demons out. Matt Damon went and helped them.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Hey, kept the Scottish out.
Yeah.
Hadrian's Wall.
Yeah. Walls, I mean, I can't believe nobody's ever thought of that before.
Seriously.
Yeah, I know, right?
Seriously.
Yeah. Anyway. No, Woosman end, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, I just, there's a movement for it. I heard it on one podcast, and I really feel like this is something that we need to pass around to other listeners who don't necessarily have those sort of connections.
So definitely.
We call it, the Woosman. Seeing Miguel Almiron celebrating his hat trick against some shitty purple team in front of the Woosman would be great.
It would be good.
I like it.
You know what's even better? You guys. So thanks for checking us out.
Yes.
Those 3 reviews over the past week really makes us all happy. If we could get 3 every week and then we could each read a review, that would really be the ideal
running
scenario.
Out of money, man. Yeah, nobody's mentioned me at all. Nobody's mentioned me at all.
So thanks for checking us out. As always, leave us 5 stars or 4 stars if you're that one twat. We know who you are who decided to do so.
And we do have an agenda. We talk about positives and negatives. The game we just played, and then the next week's game. It's not hard.
Look at what you've done.
It's pretty cheap pablum,
Look at what you've done.
we've been told. It's pablum. It's just pablum.
Yeah, that's true.
So a hell of a lot better than the Roar Pod.
Let me just shout. Let me just shout out some random expletives and how I want to throw chairs at the listeners that listen to
Oh, all right, guys. We love the hell out of you. Thanks for checking us out. You can find all of our stupid faces on the internet. Tim, where can they find you at?
You can find me at Tim Herb.
Dan.
Find me at DNJMS.
You can find me as well at The Architect. Why can't you set that up for the outro? You can find me as well at The Architect. That's spelled at _ARC1TECT. Collectively at Home Before Dark. That's before spelled B and the number 4. Check out GetHomeBeforeDark.com. We'll see you guys next week. As always, be home before dark.
Kansas City barbecue sucks.
Gonna get that W. dominate the foe. Carolina Panthers with sharp teeth and claws. We growl to win this game. We call pro football. When running, passing, or pitching the ball, we got blazing, mesmerizing plays, y'all. Wanna holler at your top cats who cheer and turn us on. Give me them digits, I'll call you on my phone. Lightning fast, big black cats, Panthers kicking ass. Yo, with a TD
or a field goal, gonna get that W, dominate the foe. Row, row, row.
Keep pounding, paid lots of dough. Soon to be our